What's going on, guys? Welcome back. Today on my episode, we're going to talk about something that weighs heavy on my heart in a good way. And it's going to be in women empowerment. And we are really going to touch on some topics that mean a lot to me. So let's dive in. All right, guys. So women empowerment, let's talk. So my biggest thing and what stands out the most about this is all of us women, especially today, we want to be a boss. We want to be a leader. But are we leading? Are we truly leading our peers and women around us? I feel like that kind of gets lost in the sauce at some point. And I really want to just touch base on these things that I see go on, I've experienced with my own personal self in life, business, and even just everyday life. So the biggest thing is you want to surround yourself around women that are going to uplift you and pick you up. Surrounding yourself around like-minded women is so important nowadays. I have been in situations where I have surrounded myself around women that aren't thinking the way I have thought, and it's definitely hurt me along the way. So what do I mean by surrounding yourself by like-minded women? You want to surround yourself by women that are going to uplift you, that aren't always they are going to be your cheerleader, but aren't cheering you on when you're doing something wrong, when you're gossiping, when you aren't being a good friend, having those uncomfortable conversations with a friend and not hyping them up. I remember when I was younger, I had a lot of friends that were cheering me on when I wasn't doing such a good thing, right? You know, when I was gossiping and when I wasn't doing right by other people. So one of the hardest decisions that I had to make was get rid of a lot of people that were, you know, being that friend and cheering me on when I wasn't being a good person. So that is one thing in my life that really stuck out to me was I had to remove a lot of people in my life that were not directing me to a positive place. So what does a women empowerment mean to me? So that's a really good question. The real question is kind of reverse. What does women empowerment mean to you? You have to ask yourself that. What does it mean? Because it looks differently, you know, through us all. So what it means to me and what I guess it goes back to when I was younger, what it really means. Because I remember like being bullied and, you know, girls being mean to me at school and stuff like that. I was little, so I got like picked on and yada yada. I always, no matter what, stayed true to who I was. So could I have been a mean girl as well? Of course I could. You know, staying true to women is very important to me. You know, I work with women every day. I am surrounded by a lot of women, and I feel it heavy on my heart to see when women aren't treating each other with kindness. It's really important. And the biggest thing for me is really being able to take women to the next level of their career, their life, even how they're thinking about themselves and their minds. So it's really important to me to help lead and guide women with love and pour into them and just, you know, make them feel worthy of who they are, right? So here it is too. It's like we all might not be on the same level, right? We're never, you know, some women are going to be just learning things and in their career not be in the same place as me, but I never want to make anybody feel. And I think that's the biggest thing with women, not just me. I feel like we should never make anybody feel less important, less, you know, they're not as a good hairstylist as me or a good mommy. I feel like women are putting each other down. And my biggest goal here is to make us all feel equal because we are equal. We're all the same. We're all, you know, at our own pace in life. And that's just the biggest thing, to just uplift each other and give each other grace and just be kind. And one thing stands out to me most, and it was a really pivotal point in my life where I had a friend, and you know, we were growing apart. I was evolving, and we were just growing in different directions. We were friends for a really long time, so we went through many stages of life. And I remember it got to the point where I was having hard conversations. You know, when you see something and you just address it to the person or you call them out on it, whether it's, you know, maybe you call them out and they just don't like what you're saying and it's the hard truths of things. The biggest the hardest thing for me was having those conversations and then being told that I was being, mean when it was just me loving the person, but having those uncomfortable conversations. So what that looks like is it's hard to have those conversations, and it might make you feel or sound mean because sometimes if somebody's not ready to hear these things, it's going to sound mean or it's going to hurt them. So I remember being in a place where that relationship became very toxic for me. Seeing things that was not okay at that point in my life was, I had to remove that person from my life. So, and at the end of the day, sometimes it's like when you are at that point of your life where you're creating these boundaries and having these uncomfortable conversations, you tend to become the bad guy. And that has happened to me a lot in my life. I've become the bad guy to a lot of people, friends, family, employees, staff, like stuff like that. And, that I think is the hardest part about it really is saying, not having to explain yourself. No is no. And right is right and wrong is wrong. So not having to really explain yourself about who I am, because this is something that I've struggled with my entire life because I'm very abrasive, I guess. I'm very direct. Sometimes I don't use the right words. Emotion has come out before what I'm trying to get, like, my point across, right? I'll maybe be raising my voice or being a little too more aggressive. So that's a great question because it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. And that has really, when I heard that, whether it was a therapist or whoever it was one day, it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. So it's just being able to communicate your thoughts. And that's really it. I mean, no matter whether it's your husband or, a peer or anybody, it's just really how you come across. So one of my issues was I'm just like, I'm a passionate, aggressive, loud person, and just really thinking before I speak and not acting on my emotions right then and there. So, how that looks. Sometimes I have to take a step back and just write things down or not say how I feel right away because it always comes off strong or, hard or not right. And because I'm so passionate and emotional, it's just the words and feels get too strong, and that can be intimidating for people. So everything I do is out of love. And I think that's the hardest thing is because I wear my heart on my sleeve. And yeah, that's really it. It's really about how, not what you say, it's how you say it. That's my biggest advice. So listen, how do I deal with women that are trying to bring me down? I feel like I have struggled this for a really long time. It's an ongoing battle. In my younger age years, I definitely handled it in a more emotional, passionate, say how, aggressive, nowadays. Yeah, I've definitely, wanted to fight at some point. Like I was that girl. But nowadays, you guys, I have an image to hold here in this world, and nobody is going to shake and break me as far as that goes. And most of the time it's because women are intimidated or they really maybe just like me and they're just mean girls. It can go both ways, but I just get inspired by it. It kind of goes back to that haters topic. Like the more haters, like I just feel like I'm doing something right. But I don't get mean back. Like I just get inspired. I feel honored that, I'm the topic of the gossip sesh of their day or whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, it can be hurtful. It is hurtful. I hear things that aren't true. I was told the other day that I was, a bad boss and a fake Christian. Like I get things all the time. I had another, girl go on social media and just blatantly say horrible things about me. And I see those things and it's just a reflection of what they're going through, what you're going through. It doesn't reflect me at all. I mean, listen, the way I look at it is that anybody can tell me anything bad about somebody. It's my feelings and my perspective. And if you're a smart woman and if you're a good woman or human in general, you take what it's your outlook, right? The world is your outlook. So like you guys can say all you want about me, or you guys can tell me all you want about Joe Schmo. And when I meet Joe Schmo, I'm going to be the judge of Joe Schmo. You know what I mean? Like nobody can tell me anything ever about somebody and I'm like, oh yeah, that person's like this, that. It never works that way. And I think that if we could all change our mindset that way, and if you hear something about somebody, or if, you just take your own like perspective on that person. Am I saying that right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. Just take, like, this is, you be the judge, you be the writer of your life. Like nobody can tell you how to feel about somebody, what they think about somebody. Like, I mean, how many times have you had like a girl say, like when we were dating, right? Like, oh my God, that guy, he's such a this, that, and the third. Like, I mean, do we listen about how many times we've heard men be like a player? Like every girl has told me every one of my ex-boyfriends were players and I didn't listen. But when it comes to women saying like, oh, that girl does this, that girl does that, we all of a sudden, it's just like everybody can gossip. So it's very hard. And the thing about my faith is that I've done so many wrong things and I continue to do wrong things and I'm a sinner and I guess the best thing I could say, and so many people have known me all my life and have seen me do things that aren't the best, but that doesn't mean I'm a fake Christian. I'm here today to try to make changes in every aspect of my life, continuously try to change and be better. And if I make a mistake tomorrow, that doesn't mean I'm a fake Christian. That means I'm human and I'm not perfect, but I'm forgiven. And I will say sorry when I've hurt somebody and I will try to do better the next day. Like we're all in process. It's never going to be perfect. So anybody that thinks this is going to, like, every human is perfect and, it's just a little bit ridiculous. Yeah, and that's definitely all part of women empowerment. Like we need to uplift each other instead of breaking each other down. There's women like me that can stand her ground and be strong but there's other women that will just crumble. And like if that's your goal and that's what you're trying to do, well, you've won. And then what? Like now what? Where is that going to get us? So there is nothing in this world that you cannot do. Okay? That I want you all to know that. Women, men, it doesn't even matter who you are. We, like I said, are the creators of our own life. And what has helped me so much with that is my little, what I say all the time, slogan or whatever, failure is not an option. It is not an option. So with that said, I fail with things all the time. And I fail so much that I actually get excited to fail because I know there's something on the other side of that is going to be bigger, brighter, and like has more colors. I just know that sometimes that I have to fail in order to succeed. And that's just been my life. That's just been like how everything has always happened for me. I have to fail. I have to figure it out the hard way in order for there to be my perfect little picture. So you can do anything you want to do. You just have to put your mind to it. You have to believe in yourself. You have to hear me say it over and over again. Failure is not an option. Failure is not an option. You cannot have these, limited beliefs of yourself. That's really what it comes down to. You just don't limit yourself on what you think that you're capable of, what you think your life is capable of. Just be a believer. All right, guys, ladies, remember you are beautiful, you are strong, you are brave, and you're a boss, okay? So listen, every Friday, I want you guys to hop on YouTube, 10 a.m. Eastern time, and listen to my podcast. They're going to be live every Friday. And don't forget to follow me on Sagar Beauty. Don't forget to follow me on SagarBeauty.com. You can follow me on Instagram on Sagar Beauty, as well as following me on my personal page at Sarah O'Flaherty _. All right, guys, I can't wait to do my next episode next week with you. I'll see you soon.